Yeah.
So
I think that's the biggest thing, right? And so, like, I think you hit it on, and what bothers me, like, because I do think that this is hands down the best industry to be in sales. Like, I think sales is the best by far, but in insurance sales, I think that is hands down the best, because there's no reason not to succeed here. Like, everyone dies. You know what I mean? If you can be in a business that everyone needs, this is it, right? But I do touch on that same point. It's like, I think the most frustrating, like, I don't mind when people don't, because my mentality is, if people say no to me, it doesn't bother me. And I think that comes from, like, a lack of confidence, that people are so, like, they want almost to be, like, appreciated, or they're afraid of, like, that's why I think that people fear, like, picking up the phones and being told no and turned down. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a lack of confidence in my
That's 100% what it is. Yep.
It doesn't bother me when people tell me no, because it's like, okay, next one. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I always tell everyone, it's like, not our job to convince people to buy insurance. It's our job to get insurance for the people that want it. But to touch your point on the recruiting side, I think the hardest part of this business really is pouring into somebody and then them failing, right? And it's all because of lack of activity. And so that was my biggest thing when I started too, is I was like, I knew this was the best opportunity. I knew this was the best thing you could get. And so I wanted everyone to know about it. The problem is that most people aren't willing to do that's why there's poor people in the world, right? It's like, people just aren't willing to do it. So it's like, although you can have the best opportunity, you got to be the right person, and that's the person that's going to be willing to pick up the phone. And like I tell all the new agents, I'm like, are you willing to dial 500 times, get told no, and then the next day wake up and do it again? Because that's what differentiates the good from the bad. It's not that we say anything different or have some slip. We just have the consistency and persistency to just be like, all right, another day, dude. Like, yesterday doesn't affect today, and today doesn't affect tomorrow. But I think what bothers me the most is, like, when you do take all the time to because we've all had, like, one of those agents, right, where, like, this guy's going to crush it. Even if it was a friend, man, I had one of my friends, and I was like, this dude's going to kill it. I poured into him, got him leads, got him set up, everything like that, and it's like nothing. I'm like, dude, how? I don't know. That's the worst part. And so now I protect my time more than anything. And I tell everyone, I'm like, look, I even told someone this morning on the phone when they were asking me some questions. I was like, look, as long as you apply what I say and you keep up the activity, you can call me all you want. It's not one of my agents, just someone that was asking for help. And I said, but the second I notice that you're not putting in activity anymore, I'm not picking up the phone anymore. And I think that's kind of how it has to be in this business, because it's like, and this is what we tell people, is like, nobody wants you to fail. Like, I don't want to string you along in this business if you're not going to succeed. I would rather you go work somewhere else, a minimum wage job or something, rather than be struggling here. Because, man, it sucks when you're just getting eaten by chargebacks, and, you know. But I think that there's, like, 3 key factors in being successful in sales, right? And that's, like, activity, confidence, and then just persistency, right? It's like, if you can master those 3 things, I think that anyone can do what we do, because it's like, confidence, you have to have the confidence on the phone, right? And activity, there's no skill that makes up for activity, right? It's like, the only time that skill comes into a factor is if we're both maxed out on activity. Because if you're better than me and I outwork you, I win every time. It may not be today or tomorrow, but eventually I'll win, because skill is learned, activity is there. So it's like, and I think that a lot of people new to this business or new to sales in general, is they're trying to, I need better skills. There's a lot of if-thens, right? I had an agent once tell me, and he was like, well, when I find good leads, I'll make more dials. And I'm like, that makes no sense at all, dude. What do you mean? Like, you're never gonna. Yeah, so it's like, dude, once your activity is maxed out, then we can talk about skill. But I think, and that's the thing that I love about sales in general, is like, it's the ultimate equalizer. Like, it doesn't matter anything. Like, granted, yeah, you know, if you're good looking, it helps a little bit. If you're good with your words, it helps a little bit. But activity overall beats everything. And so, like, for all the new agents, and I think, and one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, because I've been in sales for almost 7 years, 7 going on 8 years now. I've been in sales, so it's I mean, I'm not a veteran, but I've been selling shit for a while. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what it's like to work another job anymore. And so,
I think that's a veteran. I think over 5 years in this industry is like dog years. So anything over 35 years in dog years is a veteran. So
yeah, I basically almost qualify for the IHOP discount, the senior discount.
I would agree. Sure.
Dude, I laughed because I found 2 gray hairs in my beard when I turned 32, and I was like, dude, I'm basically a silver fox now.
That's tough, bro. You better get some Rogaine for that or whatever that is, or Shannon's gonna be looking for a younger one.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically, my question would be this, and I think this. Well, it's kind of like a 3-part question, so we'll just kind of take it step by step. But like, first part of it is like, when you started, what do you think were the top like 1 or 2, maybe 3 problems that you had, or challenge? Let's call them challenges, right? Because there's all kinds of things that could be problems. But what do you think, as a new agent or as new to sales, what do you think the top 2 or 3 challenges that you faced, and how do you think that you think held you back from where you could have succeeded faster, and how do you think that someone could either accomplish that quicker or just deter and not even experience that at all?
Yeah, so for me, the biggest thing, there were a lot of the things that really hurt me is I knew nothing about life insurance. Like, dude, I didn't know really what term or whole life. I didn't really know anything about any of that. So just going out there, and I didn't want to sound stupid going and meeting people and things like that, but I just had to get past that fear and going out and just doing the work and getting the reps and being confident that I was going to learn these products as time went on. And it's really just getting out there and telling yourself, just you're going to be uncomfortable the first bit, man. Like, and I remember when I started, like I had that anxiety people talk about of picking up the phone. And, I think that can be paralyzing for a lot of people. And I think most people go through that because you're not used to being uncomfortable, and you're scared of rejection. So, I mean, what really helped me in that sense was I got uncomfortable as I could right away. So not only was I horrible on the phone, like when it was just me and myself sitting here calling people, I immediately started getting in front of people, a large group of people, when the original live dials had started back at the previous company, and I would unmute on there, and it was the most uncomfortable thing in the world for me. But I grew so much faster by doing that because I didn't want to keep sounding like a big dummy, So like I got comfortable being uncomfortable in that setting, and was just getting some good feedback from people on certain things on how to tweak that. And truthfully, if I'm being honest with you, everybody says, and I'm a firm believer too, when you first start in this business, you don't have to know everything about everything. You don't have to, but you need to be intentional moving forward about learning the products,